All right, here we go. Number 3. Well, video number 3. Question number 7, though. Let's see. How should I do this? I'll go to draw. We'll change. We've got x minus h squared. Okay, here's what we have for our starting point. We want to identify the center of a circle based on that equation as being at the point h comma k, and the radius is at the value r. So we have r squared, so whatever we get for a number, we just take the square root and we're good. So with this first problem, we see that it's already in this nice factored form, what we call the standard form of a circle. So we see that the h must be negative 20 because we're trying to get x minus h. We want this thing to look like x minus h. Right now we have x plus 20. So what we really have to do is say x minus h, which is negative 20, which gives us x plus 20, which is what we're going for. Right, so x plus 20 really means that h is negative 20. Now, opposite of that, y minus 18, well, we already have y minus, okay, so we just have y minus k. So k must just be 18. Because when we plug it in, we don't have to change sign. So, all that to say, we are looking for the center. It says find the center and the radius. Well, the center is at the point h, negative 20, comma k, which is 18. The radius, again, the ending number is r squared from the equation here. So r is the square root of 144, which is just 12. Easy enough. Look at that. We're under 2 minutes into this video. We've got part A done. Part B does not look anything like part A. We don't have x minus h and y minus k. We have just a whole slew of numbers spit out, dumped onto the paper. So I'll leave that. I'll go to blue though. Blue, there we go. All right. Yep, got blue. Perfect. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to run through this. Not as much explanation the first time through. I'll just write everything out and then we'll walk through why I did certain steps, or you can ask me in class after you've watched it. But the steps to completing the square are as follows. How did I get back to? There we go. The steps are, you want your x terms together. Sometimes they're not. In this case, the x squared and the x are right next to each other. The y squared and the y are next to each other. So if that's not already the case, just rearrange it. Because when we're adding and subtracting, the order doesn't matter. So rearrange it so the x's and y's are next to each other. The other thing we want to do, though, too, is we want to move the constant term over. Plus y squared minus 8y. Like that. See, so we want to get the x's together, the y's together, and then the constants together on the other side. Why do we do that? Well, because what we're really trying to get at here is grouping stuff together and factoring it so that, because remember, our goal is to look like x minus h and y minus k, both squared, equal to a number squared. So that's why, ooh, look at that, we're getting close. Here's where the magic starts to seem to just appear out of nowhere. So x squared plus 6x, I'm going to start adding new numbers in here. I'm going to take x squared plus 6x plus half of 6 squared. So I'm going to add 9. I'm then going to continue plus y squared minus 18y. Okay, that disappeared. Half of 18y. So I'm going to add half of negative 18 squared. So I'm going to add 81 over here. So I've got x squared is 6x. I added 9, so that was something like this. So I've added 9, I've added 81, and I said is equal to negative 65. Now, if I leave it like this, I've unbalanced my equation. I've added these numbers to the left, I graph this, I don't get the same as I started. So what I can do, though, is I can add 9 to both sides. I can add 81 to both sides. Now, this equation is balanced. I've added some numbers, but because I added them to both sides, I get the same answer. So now, why did I do that? Just because I love math? No. I mean, I do love math, but that's not the point. The point is, by doing that, I can factor this. If I just looked at those three terms, I can say, hey, you know what? That is x plus 3 squared, right? So now I have this nice, easy, you can check it, x plus 3 quantity squared. Sure, it checks out. X squared plus 3x plus 3x is 6x, plus 3 times 3 is 9. Yeah, it checks out. And I can do the same thing over here. So x plus 3 squared, y minus 9 squared, check it out, works. Y squared minus 9y minus 9y, checks out. Negative 9 times negative 9, checks out. Okay, so we're good. Also notice, though, half of the x term, 6, is what we added here. Half of the y term is what we added in here. Now, that all to say that if I were to also condense these three numbers, I get 25 in particular here. So hey, look at, I now have the form I'm looking for. I have a center at HK, so negative 3, 9. I have a radius of 5. Okay, that's the point. That's why we do this. So anyways, that's 7A and 7B. So I'm going to stop there. I'll maybe do C if I have time here, but time's running out here. I'll be fine. It's fine. Whatever, right? So I've shown an example of most of this work here. I've got finding the zeros, graphing the zeros. We've got finding the directrix, proving that a point's on a parabola. But yeah, the big thing on these, completing the square, pause and rewatch that section. That process will work every time. Here, I would, if you really want, I guess I could take a minute and go totally off the wall color here. I'm going to move this. What I would do for this one, so I would say x squared plus 4x plus 4. Half of 4 squared is also 4. Plus y squared minus 10y plus half of negative 10, negative 5 squared, so plus 25. Now I'm moving that 20 over, remember, so negative 20. I added 4 and I added 25. So in the end, my right side, 25 plus 4 is 29 minus 20. That equals 9. And my factors were x plus 2 squared. Y, I added minus 5 squared. Okay, so that's how quick that completing the square can be. So you can check C as well. Didn't really talk through a whole lot of that one, but the answer is the x plus 2 squared and plus y minus 5 squared equals 9. So your center is negative 2 comma 5, radius of 3, and we're done. So that should be good. We're hitting that 9 to 10 minute mark here. So we'll talk about a few more of these in factoring. Maybe I'll do some stuff with 10, but yeah, otherwise, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in class.